MATA under the microscope. Tonight, the WREG investigators take a look at MATA's transit troubles and talk to frustrated riders.
Why they call it MATA? Because we don't matter.
What the future holds for the public transportation provider and how it impacts all residents, not just riders. WREG investigates MATA's missteps. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. You may not ride MATA, but the transit system's success or failure still impacts you. Workers rely on MATA to get to and from work. Businesses rely on MATA to bring in customers. And a lack of public transit can lead to a spike in crime. The WREG investigators take a look at it all tonight. First up, how did we get here? A transit system slamming the brakes on the well-known trolleys and talking service and job cuts. We began our coverage with WREG's chief investigator, Jessica Gertler.
Those iconic trolleys halted in August. Their operators suddenly without a job.
Where am I start for income or my medication?
Memphis Area Transit Authority say they couldn't afford trolley repairs. They were in a $60 million deficit.
I was a part of that administration, but I didn't have visibility over the entire operation.
Bakara Malden has been MATA's #2, becoming the interim CEO in February.
I had no idea the ride that we were about to be on.
Malden approached Memphis Mayor Paul Young this spring.
They were running low on cash flow.
Young says MATA made it until July, when the city passed the new fiscal budget, allocating another $30 million to MATA.
We did it with the understanding that we would work with them to figure out how to get a handle on the financials.
Young says he quickly learned numbers were off. In mid-August, he called on a firm to audit MATA's finances and Transpro Consulting to look at operations. According to a recent presentation WREG investigators uncovered, MATA states they've had financial issues for the past decade, since most funding comes from operating grants. Since fiscal year 2022, it's spent more money than it took in, while seeing less riders and battling inflation. In board meeting minutes from 2021, MATA touted COVID relief money took care of immediate cash flow needs. Months later, the board approved spending millions on new furniture and equipment for the new administrative office in a downtown high-rise, and another $250,000 last year on a branded box suite in FedEx Forum. All while buses were and continue to be late around half the time.
First item is an update from
Transpro released its report to the council last month, citing issues like not enough equipment and personnel, delayed and unpaid invoices, and a wholly inadequate system to track contracts. They say MATA took on multiple capital projects that are currently financially unsustainable, adding it doesn't have the capacity to deliver those projects and basic bus service.
I believe that every project that we've undertaken is necessary in order to move the system forward.
Transpro reports all but 8 buses need new engines per federal guidelines. Malden showed us their fleet, stating even with new buses they've recently added, only 55 to 60 are on the road each day.
What do you need?
We need 74.
74?
Yes.
To give the, 30-minute
well,
windows
to actually meet the level of service.
We do need to be identifying capital resources to get the repairs and the new vehicles that we need.
That could be challenging. For years, Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris has proposed different ideas to get MATA more funding.
So we weren't successful, and this problem continues to fester, but it's been going on a very long time.
He says MATA must evolve.
It's going to be a pitiful public transit system until it both stabilizes and advances.
Young agrees. He says he's meeting with riders, unions, MATA, and researching other cities.
All options are on the table.
All options for planning and both funding. Now, Young tossed out some ideas like a percentage of pilots and a transit tax. What's clear is that he did find some surplus funding to put off those service and staffing cuts until at least February. Investigating for News Leader Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
All right. Now, also in that Transpro report, Jessica mentioned a breakdown of who is riding MATA. Transpro found 93% of riders are dependent on the transit agency. They have no other transportation option. 83% of bus customers are Black or African American. 64% have a household income of less than $50,000 a year, and 50% use MATA primarily to get to and from work. So just how hard is it to rely on MATA to get to work or even to get groceries? Up next, we sit and wait and wait and wait with a customer for a bus that never seems to come.
Get a closer look at weather coming your way. The weather experts, Gold Strike Skyview on News Channel 3, sponsored by Gold Strike. Come for the fun, stay for the rewards at Gold Strike Casino Resort, where you'll be as good as gold.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and your Kroger store has everything you need. Scan the code and head over to WREG.com, Kroger Holiday Headquarters. From our home to yours, happy Thanksgiving from Kroger.
There has never been a sale on furs like this before. It's early season clearance sale with prices slashed up to 70% off. If you have ever thought about buying a fur, now's your chance to get the fur you want at the lowest prices you'll see. Pay over time with our 90-day layaway and cash discounts available. Don't miss this sale and shop early for Christmas during Holloway Furs clearance sale.
Come see us at Holloway Furs, 404 Perkins Extended. And remember, fur is all we do.
Numbers show MATA provides rides for just over 318,000 passengers a year. But those trips aren't always smooth. Chief Investigator Jessica Gertler met one passenger who had to wait hours for a ride.
The patience would run out for most.
I'd just be stuck there and have to wait in the rain until one show up.
But Laura Hunter doesn't have a choice. The 74-year-old has to ride the bus to get food, medicine.
Doctor's office sometime.
On this Thursday, she says she left her South Memphis home at 9 in the morning.
And I made it up here about 11 o'clock.
She'd finished her grocery shopping and errands. When we met her, it was around 1 in the afternoon. She was waiting at this stop near Madison and Avalon. The plan was to take the bus up the road where she'd hop on another bus to get back home.
I love Memphis, but I just hate the way things are going. I hate that part.
The bus is here. I'll let you go.
The bus she was waiting on never stopped.
Where's it going?
It left us all confused, forcing Hunter to chase after it in her motorized wheelchair. We then watched the bus driver refuse to let her or the other passenger, also waiting at the stop, board.
He said that he stopped at the stop and I wasn't there. I was talking.
Hunter says this has happened before.
I'm so
Believe me, I'm used to it.
And even though there was concern her wheelchair could run out of battery, she decided to journey 3/4 of a mile to her next stop to make sure she got the next bus to get home. She made it safely. We met her at Cleveland and Union, where again she waited. Buses seen going every other direction. It wasn't until 3 in the afternoon a glimmer of hope spotted in the distance. But that hope quickly faded. The bus's sign read out of service.
Bus is turning.
Still, it pulled up to the stop but refused to let anyone else on.
Now we're still waiting.
So again, Hunter waited and waited, watching countless cars pass on their way home to their families, to dinner, to somewhere warm.
I feel bad. I'm not angry, but I'm so disappointed.
Hunter was waiting for the crosstown route, also known as the 42. More than 4,000 people board it during the weekdays. According to MATA's website, it's one of their most popular routes, running from Fraser Boulevard to East Holmes. And buses should be passing each stop every half hour. It wasn't until 4:45 as the sun started to set. Another bus pulled up to the stop.
Caution.
Hungry, cold, exhausted, Hunter finally boarded, finally headed home. It'd been 3.5 hours since we met her. And on this day, She spent more than 6 hours waiting for and riding a bus just to get groceries at a store less than 3 miles from her home. For most, patience would run out. For Hunter, she has no choice.
We asked Hunter what happens when she needs perishable items. She told us she just prays the bus comes a little bit sooner. On that day, she told us she really wanted ice cream, but knew that would never make it home. Now, we showed Hunter's story to MATA's interim CEO, Bakara Malden, to get her reaction. Take a listen.
I've been that person waiting for a bus and relying on them to get from point A to point B. It makes me very sad.
And Malden went on to say this is why they need more funding for supervision and for training. Now, her team did follow up with us asking for Hunter's number so that they could call and personally apologize, and asked for more information about that driver who passed her here on Madison so that they could follow up and investigate. Investigating for News Leader Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
Hoping for a smoother ride next time for Mrs. Hunter. Well, customers struggle to ride MATA, and MATA struggles to maintain routes. It all cuts into people's livelihoods, and some say that could directly impact crime in the city. A look at that issue next.
I used to say we need a lawyer in the family. Having Legal Shield is better. For plans starting around $1 a day, you now have access to designated law firms. Want to create your will? Call Legal Shield. Got personal contracts to review? Call Legal Shield. Warranty questions? Call Legal Shield. With plans starting around $1 a day, you'll get real lawyers and affordable access. Shield yourself from costly legal expenses. Call Legal Shield today.
Right now at Zara Kia of Jackson, get Kia's hottest model at Zara's hottest price. Kia Sportage. Take $7,600 off or take $4,600 off plus 0% financing. That's like getting a discount plus free money. Take $5,500 off the multiple award-winning Kia Telluride. Now just $36,956 and save money while saving gas with a 53 mile per gallon Kia Niro. Take $5,000 off now just $24,450. West Tennessee's best Kia deals only at Zara Kia of Jackson.
This Thanksgiving, and in the times ahead, News Nation invites everyone to the table where all voices are welcome, where we can listen and discuss with fairness, transparency, and respect. Tell your friends and family about News Nation, and they can see for themselves how News Nation is news for all Americans.
Welcome back. MATA's trolleys are no longer running, but this isn't the first time they've been pulled off the tracks. Take a look at this. You might remember this video from back in 2014 when one of the cars caught fire. WREG investigators revealed it took 4 years and millions of dollars to get the trolleys running again. Now they've stopped again, this time because MATA says it simply cannot afford brake repairs. Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris suggests it is time to turn the attention away from trolleys.
So trolley service in decades at this point, at least not full trolley service. At some point you got to move on, right? You just got to move on, and we got to get our bus system right.
That's the word from the county mayor, but the city officials say they found capital dollars assigned to MATA to improve safety issues. They hope to get the trolleys running again in the next 6 months. Well, cutting trolley and bus service has big impacts. Public transportation affects a lot of things in this city. WREG investigator April Thompson shows how access to transportation affects crime.
Want to know the problems with MATA? Talk to the people who ride MATA.
Bus route gets changed or gets canceled or something else happens, then you're out in the bus never on time. Then you got more and more problems.
MATA's cuts are cutting into people's livelihoods.
A lot of people lose their job based on the bus because a lot of buses not on time.
And that may also have a direct impact on one of Memphis's toughest problems, crime.
If a person loses his job, next thing you know, he's got trouble at home. He can't provide for his family. Of course, he's going to rob, steal, cheat, do whatever to provide for his family.
What he says is echoed by the University of Memphis researcher and professor of social work, Dr. Elena De La Vega.
Crime is
often the result of lack of opportunity.
For decades, she's tracked poverty trends and has found a direct correlation between poverty and crime.
In a city with such levels of inequality, unfairness, lack of opportunity, lack of access, is a city with a lot of anger. And this anger is often expressed in the form of crime.
She says peaceful communities are ones with a sense of justice and fairness, and Memphis is a community divided.
There are people in Memphis that do not have access to anything that would make life worth living. They live in very isolated, abandoned communities without the public transportation, and this results in not having access to jobs, which means they don't have access to the incomes that are necessary to sustain a life.
Dr. De La Vega says better public transportation benefits everyone, especially since mass transit solves another dilemma affecting even the middle class, the high cost of car ownership.
Because owning a car costs anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month. And so a family of four, if they need to have two cars, we're looking at $1,000 to $2,000 of their family income going for transportation only. Public transportation promotes economic development, promotes health and well-being in the community, and reduces crime. It is the best investment we could make.
Dr. De La Vega says Memphis needs a Centroid-type hub, taking you to any part of the county quickly.
We could go from Whitehaven to Collierville in 30 minutes. That would be incredible. Now, what we need is for the entire region to fund that. We need to think regionally.
She says the crime that is a byproduct of inadequate transportation affects the suburbs too.
The crime is regional. Their cars would be stolen much more likely in a situation where people are desperate and angry because of the unfairness.
He can't get back and forth to work. What do you expect the man to do? I just, hope and pray that they can do something about it.
For your news leader in Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
And Dr. De La Vega says there is also the notion that expanding public transit to the suburbs attracts crime by giving criminals access. But she says studies have shown that is not the case. MATA's Missteps having a big impact on local businesses as well. How transit troubles impact them next.
Football season already and not a satellite dish in sight.
I hardly recognize the roofs I grew up on.
Enough squawking.
Oh, great.
Coach Prime. Y'all are whining while everyone else is watching nonstop football on DirecTV. Tell me, whose house is this?
Their house?
I think they're renting.
Listen. I know they get easy access to all this football, but you know what you got?
What, Coach?
A crumb bum attitude.
Stream football without a satellite dish.
Now drop and give me 20.
20 what?
Right now, at Sarah Chevy of Jackson. Get Chevy's hottest models at Sarah's hottest prices. Sarah leads the way in Chevrolet with up to $10,000 off Silverado 1500s with trade assist. Take up to $8,000 off 2024 Chevy Tahoes while supplies last. Get up to $3,500 off the Extreme off-road capable Colorado. And 0% is back with $1,500 off Equinox, the newest kid on the block. Together, let's drive at Sarah Chevy of Jackson and Sarah Chevy of Bartlett.
Your next beautiful day begins at a Beautiful You Medical Spa. We will present you with a personalized step-by-step plan to help you achieve your goals. Our state-of-the-art facility has been recognized locally and nationally for our innovation and highly trained professionals. Since 2003, we have been dedicated solely to cosmetic, facial, and body treatments. It is our area of expertise. All consultations are free. Payment plans are available. Discover the possibilities of looking better and feeling more confident with a Beautiful You Medical Spa.
You've heard a lot about MATA's money problems, but local leaders say we're all losing money, and we're not talking about misspent taxpayer dollars. Chief Consumer Investigator Zanetta Lowe spoke with business owners and leaders about how having an efficient public transit system is crucial for the economy and growth of Memphis.
We have a double cheeseburger with a crispy cheese skirt on the outside.
One of several fan favorites at Magnolia in May.
It's the fried chicken and French toast.
Where second-generation restaurant owner and chef Chip Dunham preps for lunch.
It's definitely a labor.
Magnolia in May opened in May of 2020. The East Memphis restaurant survived a global pandemic and all the challenges since, including retaining employees, which in Memphis can be compounded by problems with transportation.
We currently have employees that are dependent on public transit, and we've had some in the past as well, and it's just the challenge of running a restaurant at this time.
There's a bus stop near the restaurant at Poplar and Mendenhall, but Dunham's employees say it's not reliable.
I have employees tell me they're sitting at a bus stop and drives by them and leaves them at the bus stop when they're supposed to stop.
Which means making adjustments when employees are late or have to leave early.
They stop running at like 9 or 10 o'clock and we're open till 10. And you know, if I have a dishwasher or a cook that has to catch the bus, then all of a sudden they have to leave before you know, their shift would be over.
The restaurant loses a team member serving the public, and that employee loses out on money. We met Stephanie Washington on an off day waiting for a bus in East Memphis, but 4 days a week, including Saturdays, she rides a bus from her Cherokee Hills neighborhood to downtown Memphis for work.
Well, I catch like 8 to 8 o'clock, try to get there early if it show up.
What happens on the days it doesn't show up?
I have to wait. You know, I called in and so I'm going to be late because the bus didn't show up.
Washington works at Bass Pro at the Pyramid.
Well, I work on the front end. I'm a cashier.
One of the city's major tourist attractions depends on employees like Washington. Meanwhile, it's hard for Washington to depend on MATA to get there. 50% of MATA's riders use it to get to work, according to a report from a consulting firm the city hired to audit MATA's finances. When surveying Memphians, including those who don't use MATA, job access ranked as the most important area of improvement. And research shows compared to its peer cities, Memphis ranks next to last for the percentage of its population with access to jobs.
We feel that transit mobility equates to economic mobility.
Ted Townsend is the president and CEO of the Greater Memphis Chamber.
The imperative of mobility and transit options becomes even more challenged when you have that small portion of your population that has job accessibility. So we obviously have to look at transit in different ways.
We really have to think about what we're going to do.
Beverly Robertson is the former president and CEO of the Greater Memphis Chamber. She believes transit transformation starts with changing the narrative.
Even those who think that I don't want to pay for a service that I'm not using, that's not a good way to look at the growth of Memphis. If we only want to pay for services that you use, then a lot of institutions are out of business.
Businesses we all depend on, and their growth, along with the broader communities, Robertson says, requires building a new operating model for public transit.
If we position public transit as an investment in the future and growth of Memphis, then I think we make a solid case for dedicated funding for everybody sitting at the table and discussing it. Because when you invest, there is always a return.
Returns that pay off, so riders like Washington aren't left wondering if their route will soon be cut.
So you're waiting to see what's going to happen.
Right, that's it.
And for business owners like Dunham, who see a brighter future with a more efficient bus system in the Bluff City.
If we had a reliable public transportation system, I think it would be a game changer for Memphis.
The business benefit of our city's bus service. Well, the Chamber recently partnered with Ford and others to fund entrepreneurs for a mobility innovation challenge. And one of the winners was an employee-to-employee rideshare service. The city is also considering other micro-transit models for the future. So what's next for MATA? A look at that when we return.
closer look at weather coming your way. The Weather Experts, Gold Strike Skyview on News Channel 3. Sponsored by Gold Strike. Come for the fun, stay for the rewards at Gold Strike Casino Resort, where you'll be as good as gold.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and your Kroger store has everything you need. Scan the code and head over to WREG.com, Kroger Holiday Headquarters. From our home to yours, happy Thanksgiving from Kroger.
At the Salvation Army, a shelter isn't just a place to rest. It's a chance to shed layers, let loose, and finally let it go. With your gift, a warm bed is just the beginning. It's the first night of a new day. When our homeless neighbors feel safe enough to close their eyes, they can see the way forward.
Right now at Sarah Kia of Jackson, get Kia's hottest models at Sarah's hottest prices. Now get 1.9% financing for 60 months on 2025 Kia Sportage, our hottest selling SUV. Going on now at Sarah Kia of Jackson.
Hurt in a car truck accident? Chelsea clients have smiles on their faces and money in their pockets. Get a fast settlement with our lowest 25% settlement fee. No fee if we can't settle your case. Call the Chelsea Law Firm now at 901-526-9494.
Welcome back to WREG's investigation into MATA's missteps. So what's next for the transit agency? Jobs and routes are safe until February, we know that. Mayor Paul Young says he's meeting with MATA weekly. City Council is now asking for quarterly reports on services and finances. And TransPro's financial review results could be released any day now. Meanwhile, the WREG investigators continue to wait for a series of open record requests. They will keep digging and let you know what else they find out. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you on News Channel 3 at 10.